What's up, Nomies? I'm a professional natural bodybuilder, and today I'm gonna show you everything I get from the grocery store to get absolutely shredded in the next 12 weeks. But first, I have 6 tips to share with you guys so that you can have a successful grocery haul. So I've teleported back home because the most important one starts before we ever even leave the house. It's actually quite hot.
You just burn your fingertips.
They're still there. So the first and most important tip is that you do not go to the grocery store hungry. Because everybody knows that when your stomach's growling in the grocery store, you're gonna pick up things that you don't need. Your eyes are always gonna be bigger than your stomach, so make sure that when you go to the grocery store that you've had some food before you go so that you don't make the wrong decisions. So we're gonna smash this real quick and then we're gonna head to the grocery store and I'm gonna show you guys everything I get for the week. I'm currently prepping for my 3rd show and I'm 12 weeks out. So obviously I'm trying to give my body the best nutrition possible. The only chance for me to get something that's not on my meal plan is the time that I go to the grocery store. So the best thing that I can do, and tip number 2, is to make sure that you go to the grocery store with a shopping list. I've even went so far to order the shopping list in the order that I would walk the store as well, just to make things more efficient. So this morning I did an inventory of everything that I have in the fridge and in my pantry. And that's just gonna make sure that I get everything that I need and nothing that I don't. If nothing else, the list just holds you accountable. Every shopping trip pretty much looks the same each week. We go to 2 different stores. So the first is Aldi. That's where we get the bulk of things. It's the cheapest place that we can go to, but they still have quality items as well. I'd say we probably get 90% of our ingredients from Aldi, and then we go to Walmart after just to pick up some miscellaneous things. Miscellaneous?
What? Bro, what are you talking about, man?
Miscellaneous?
Yeah, miscellaneous.
Just to pick up some miscellaneous ingredients that we can't get at Aldi or that are just cheaper at Walmart. I gotta know down in the comments, what is your go-to grocery store? Generally speaking, most things that you see in the freezer section are not only gonna be more expensive, but they're gonna be less nutritious as well. But that does lead me into tip number 3, which is to shop around the edges of the store and make sure that they're almost all whole food, single ingredient items. So one of the biggest staples in the diet right now are potatoes. Not only regular, but sweet potatoes as well, because they're the most satiating food that you can eat and keep me fuller for longer. Now I am gonna be picking up a bag of the regular potatoes today, but I'm not gonna get any sweet potatoes because we had 3 massive bags of sweet potatoes at home. I've had potatoes twice a day, every day for the last 6 months. This one got some damn girth to it. That's what she said. Sheesh. Right after I just said that we're gonna eat all whole nutritious foods, we gotta pick up some of these. These are from my Ninja Creamies, and while I'm on the cut, I gotta enjoy the process as well, and this definitely helps me do so. As you can see, we are getting free-range eggs because there's a few ingredients in my fridge that I don't mind spending the money on, and this is one of them. Eggs aren't something that I eat on a daily basis, but they are something that I like to keep in the house if I want them on occasion. Now, I'm not getting any bread today, but sourdough is one of the easiest to digest because it's made with a few simple ingredients. So while it's not on my meal plan, it could definitely be on yours. Unsweetened almond milk is another staple in the diet. I have 3 cups a day between my 2 Ninja Creamies. It just helps keep the calories low because I'm not using real milk and getting the fat that would be associated with that milk. Now, typically I would get this from Aldi, but we just realized that Walmart has bigger jugs of it, so we're gonna make sure to get it from there. As you can see, we're on the chip aisle, and that brings me to tip number 4.
Number 3, my lord.
No, number 3, my lord.
Pick number 3, my lord.
Which is to stay out of the chip aisle, except for the rice cakes.
Number 3.
The goal is help. Help me, brother, help me. Help me, please. Don't laugh. Stop laughing at me, bro. I'm never gonna get through it, man. If your goal is health, then your cart shouldn't be filled with chips and candy and ice cream. These foods are typically filled with a lot of fat that won't satiate you, and they have little to no protein as well, and are some of the least nutritious foods that you could eat. The convenience of some of these foods might save you some time now, but it won't later in life when you're trying to fix issues due to your bad health and bad habits.
My milkshake brings all the boys to the yard.
Now, 2 other staples in the diet right now are vanilla Greek yogurt and cottage cheese. Both of these have pretty high protein content compared to the calories. Now, one of the most abundant things in the fridge is mini guac cups. These are super easy because I don't want to deal with the hassle of having to keep an avocado fresh and time that properly. Avocado or guacamole is one of the best ways that we can include healthy fats in the diet. They're already pre-portioned as well, so I don't have to weigh anything. Making things easier during the cut with simple things like this is definitely helpful. And it's no surprise that I am picking up oats as well. I've eaten overnight oats every single morning for the last 6 months because oats are super slow to digest and keep me full until lunchtime. One of the other keys for the cut is fiber intake. And so we want to keep fiber as high as possible, which will help our bowel movements be more consistent and keeps us more satiated. So we're also gonna be picking up 6 pounds of ground beef. I actually prefer beef over any other protein source because it's a lot easier to prep and I don't have to cut it up like I do with chicken. Beef is also one of the more nutritious protein sources that you can eat. And so I'm getting 3 pounds of 93.7 as well as 3 pounds of 96.4. So we're in the freezer section and that brings me to tip number 5. If you do need to save time, you've just got to make smart decisions in this section. Now I don't typically get much from the frozen section, but there are a few good things over here. So we have some shrimp and fish. These are both great sources of protein and they're very lean as well. Now I'm gonna make my beef patties out of this 93.7, but the other option is this black Angus bacon and cheese. And what I wanna show you guys is that there's 40 grams of fat in this with only 27 grams of protein. So while this might sound convenient, it's not gonna help you in the long run lose weight or be any healthier. So a much better option in the frozen section if you don't wanna make your own beef patties would be these turkey burgers right here. As you can see, they're almost half the calories with only 13 grams of fat and even more protein with 29 grams. Now these egg bites might sound pretty good and nutritious, but when we take a look at the back of the label, we've got more fat with 19 grams than we do with protein. So although some stuff might sound nutritious or look nutritious, it's not always gonna be the best option. We just finished up at Aldi, but we still have to go to Walmart. So I want you guys to comment down below what you think the total price is gonna be for both stores. We just finished up at both stores and I've got everything checked off my list, which brings me to tip number 6. That's 7. Which brings me to tip number 6. Make sure you guys are shopping for the generic brands and not the name brands so that you can save yourself some money. The store brand of just about any item will almost always be cheaper and the ingredients and macros are almost exactly the same. You're literally just spending more money to get a name brand. So there's only a few ingredients that I actually come to Walmart for, like my natural peanut butter because it's cheaper than the one at Aldi, keto buns because Walmart's the only place that sells the Nature's Own, which is my favorite, turkey bacon because I just don't like the one at Aldi, my sugar-free ketchup for potatoes, and finally our sugar-free sodas because I can't go without them on the cut. So we're gonna head home and I'll show you guys the full price breakdown as well as group all the ingredients into carbs, fats, and proteins. We made it back home with the full grocery haul. So for our main carb sources, we have regular potatoes, sweet potatoes, rice cakes, berries, bananas, honey, and oats. And for our main fat sources, we have mini guacamole cups, eggs, peanut butter, and goat cheese. And for our main protein sources, we have lean ground beef, Greek yogurt, cottage cheese, turkey bacon, and lastly, of course, we got the Rise cabinet. Now, I typically have about 2 or 2.5 scoops of Rise a day. So the best way for you to support the channel is to use code QP on Rise, Young LA, or Hummus Fit. That obviously saves you some money and helps me, of course. And so for our grand total at both stores, I spent $179.21. But just keep in mind, this is food for me and Ken's, and so it really breaks down to about $90 a week for each one of us, which isn't too bad considering the haul that we just got. But that's gonna be a wrap on today's video, guys. Make sure to like, comment, and subscribe if you haven't already. And if you'd like more food content in general, make sure to follow me on Snapchat because I post my meals there daily. Hope to see you guys in the next one. Hugs and kisses. Peace out.